I'm so sorry.
It's okay. You can have your bagel.
Enough. Sorry.
Okay. So, first of all, I found out you're a musical theater actress. I did musical theater too, so I appreciate it.
How fun.
So, I have to ask you favorite musical.
You know, it's I don't want to sound, stop up saying this because I was in it.
Gypsy?
Gypsy.
Yep.
I just, knowing Arthur Lawrence, who passed away, was just the sweetest, most intellectual man. I just think that story, the arc, the depth in every single scene, it's just, I've never seen another musical like that. And I love musicals. I could list 100 musicals that I love. But for me, it was just a pleasure for me. I was only in 30 minutes, so I got to sit there and listen to Laura Benanti and Patti LuPone and Boyd Gaines sing every single night. And even when we were filming this, Patti LuPone came. You know who Seth Rudetsky is? Mm-hmm. They did a show in London. I went to see it, and we got to hang out with them a lot while I was in London shooting this. And that was my first job. I worked on it for 2 years. I remember the last day, Patty said to me that closings are like funerals.
Yeah.
But it gets better every time. And I remember thinking, I'd never see anybody again. I didn't, and now I have, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Now I think, I'll see Patty, at least twice a year. That's really cool that I've maintained those relationships. So for me, I don't know, there's something just so special about that experience.
Well, part of the reason I wanted to ask you about it is because, you're doing a show, and that's been on a number of years. Mm. You do something like a musical for 2 years. And then you do some...
coming out.
Yeah, and then you do these little short films. So how does the experience differ for you? It's okay. For people who don't know, this is at a con, so you eat when you can.
Right. I apologize. So, for me, in theater, I think something intangible about having a live audience and about being able to do it differently every night and to have that challenge of having to recreate something with something different and special every single day. And getting to know the people on a run and being able to, sit around a table for a month or 2 months and really understand who the characters are and to work on characters for a long time. Sort of the same with a film. The great thing, it's sort of the same with TV. The great thing about TV is that the script changes every week or every 8 days. And what's great about the TV show I get to work on is that I get to work on it with Tom Selleck and Bridget Moynihan and Donnie Wahlberg and people that I just assimilate as much knowledge as I possibly can from. And I just go to set every day and just have to pinch myself because I can't not believe the caliber of actors I'm working with. So that I'm really grateful for. And then with films, I love doing films. Films, you can do a lot more takes. So you have more time with each scene for the character. And what's great about TV and film also is that Broadway, it's captured in a night. With film, you have evidence forever. So if you just find it and there's just one scene that you're just like, oh, that scene, that is why I do what I do. You have it forever.
Yeah, and it's not 500 people seeing you.
That's also a little scary. It's also a little scary if you don't do a good job. But as long as you do a good job, it's pretty good.
Now, you said you read the books. Had you read them before you got cast?
No, I hadn't, but I did know a lot of girls who definitely liked the books.
So what was it that appealed to you about the character? Because it's got to be more fun to play the bad girl.
Sure. For me, I never played the character like this before. I played a prostitute. I played, a girl who's coming of age. In Noah, I played a biblical character. So I've never played a girl like this, and for me, coming from a small town in Western Florida, I was a girl with 2 friends, going to dance, and that's where all my friends were, and I was not by any means a popular girl. So it was fun to me to sort of embody this character, and also it was challenging because I didn't know what this girl would be like. But I think reading the books was great because Rochelle sort of did a lot of the work for us because we could get a lot from the books, and then Dan Waters, our brilliant writer, also with Mark Waters, our brilliant director, collaborating with them was great. But what I really found about her after sort of speaking with all of them was that Mia sort of used this mean persona to mask her insecurities. You know, she's not a royal. Her parents worked for the royals. She was embarrassed about that. She sort of had to climb up the social ladder because she felt that that was the only way that she could be liked, and she's not actually liked. So, I mean, she has her group, her posse, but, you know, so I thought what was very interesting about her was that she really was just this girl trying to find herself, an insecure girl, and it's sad that she had to put on this sort of mean persona, but at the same time it makes her relatable, and I think that's what people, hopefully, I hope people will sympathize with Mia, because I wanted to make her complex, not just mean, you know, flat character. I mean, I'm sure she is mean, and you're going to see a lot of bitch, but you'll also see...
You'll see a lot of bitch.
But you'll also see, hopefully, some...
Yeah. Well, I mean, for fans of the book...
There's one moment I can think of, and I can't tell you, but there is a moment I can think of where, you know, I sympathize with her.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know for fans of the book, I mean, we know she goes through quite a change by the second book, so...
But she redeems herself.
Yeah. So, I mean, is that something you're really looking forward to playing? I mean, I know you can't say whether or not you're doing a sequel, but...
Well, if that does happen, that would be awesome. I think, you know, knowing that Mia redeems herself is great. At the same time, Tom Selleck from my TV show always tells me the three fears of an actor are anticipation, familiarity, and memory. So anticipation is a hard one because you don't want to shoot this knowing what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I only started reading that after. But yeah, of course it'd be fun to redeem myself and go skiing. And, you know? Yeah, right. But I don't know what's going to happen. So we'll see.
So what is it like working with Tom Selleck? Because, I mean, I can't even imagine.
I think I'm dreaming. Like, you know, Tom is like a real grandfather to me. He is so invested in my education, in my film education, in my well-being, in helping me in scenes. Because, you know, one of the biggest things that I learned on a different film was that the importance of non-competitive acting. And what's great about Tom is that, you know, when you're acting with somebody of that caliber, he just makes me feel so comfortable and allows us to sort of just react to each other and be in a scene together and just feel as if I'm with my grandfather, not with Tom Selleck. So if people say, you know, Tom Selleck, I say, I know Tom. Yeah.
Well, okay, so I have to ask you, have you watched his Friends episodes?
I have not, but I've been seeing, he's been giving me all of his films.
Yeah.
So I've seen like 3 Jesse Stones, Monty Walsh, In and Out, which I love, with Kevin Kline, right?
Yep.
So good. So, yeah, I'm going to, hopefully, I have to see 2 Men and a Baby.
Oh, yes, you do.
I haven't seen that yet.
You really, really do.
I'm going to see that like tonight.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's definitely something you have to watch. You have to watch his Friends episodes and then tease him about them. It's very, very important. Okay, so is there something that we might be surprised by in the film? Any little things that have been thrown in that fans might be like, oh my god, I can't believe that's...
Well, I think people were surprised when they saw my hair.
Well, there's that, yeah.
I can't really talk too much about the film, but as far as my hair, you know, I wasn't really allowed to take any pictures of London. I posed them because until they released the trailer, they didn't want me to sort of reveal what I looked like because it was such a big thing online. I couldn't believe it. I mean, the fan base, we are so fortunate to have just this massive fan base. So I just tried to disregard all of the comments online and to sort of be Mia the way I thought Mia needed to be and the way Mark wanted me to be, and we've gotten a very positive response about my hair after that, since we dyed it blonde and it's still short. You know, I think when you're making a film, obviously you have to be, it's great to be devoted to the book, and I think that we absolutely are 110%. But with certain little things like my hair, sometimes the actress looks better a certain way, and people need to accept that. But hopefully once they see the film, and at least from the response we've gotten online, it's been very positive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's something like, you know, anytime there's casting that's a little bit off. Just, I remember when Jennifer Lawrence was cast as Katniss, people were like, well, her hair color's wrong. You're like, well, you can dye it.
It's like, this is movies, people. We wear wigs.
Yep.
I mean, it's so funny. When I got the role, Arthur Lawrence from Dipsy, he always told me to say yes. No matter what I was doing in an audition, just say yes. So I was in CAA at a meeting for this thing with Mark Waters, and I have this thing called Vampire Academy, which is like amazing. And he said to me, would you dye your hair blonde? And I said, yes, sure. And I was like, I walked out and I was like, am I going to dye my hair blonde? And then I get there and I was like, assuming they were going to put a wig on me. They're like, oh, we're actually going to dye your hair blonde. And I was like, so excited, actually, after, like, I got over this being stunned. I was thrilled because it helped me feel like I was somebody else. And in order to play this sort of mean girl, which is sort of, I hope, different from who I am, it was really great to just be able to, shoot at night and feel like a vampire and be blonde and feel like Mia and actually become her rather than just play her.
Well, I mean, that's sort of a theater thing, too, coming from theater. Like, you put on the shoes and all of a sudden you're standing differently and you feel different. So I would think that the hair color would do that, too. So, and I know since you guys shot in the UK, a lot of your fans from the UK on Twitter they went crazy last night. So when I said I was doing this, and they wanted to know what you thought of London, what you thought of shooting there.
Okay, wait. London is my, pretty much, other than New York, my favorite place I've ever been to. The food there is fantastic.
It's so good, isn't it?
Hyde Park is the best thing I've ever seen in my life. The National Gallery, I went there on the last day, right before I was leaving. I had 30 minutes.
It's incredible.
That's the first thing I would do when I go back. It's just run to the National Gallery. Also the theater. The quality of theater. I saw a play called The Curious Incident of the Dog in the Nighttime, which is the best play I think I've ever seen. Just the open air theaters in Regent's Park and Sloane Square and just the Thames and the National Theatre and just every bit of London was so diverse, and there was just so many. I think that I read something they spoke 300 or more languages in London. It's just great to be in a place where there's so many different kinds of people and to sort of take in that energy. I could go on for London about days, about restaurants in London, about shopping in London.
Yeah, well, the food is a big deal because every gets a
Liberty. Oh,
yep.
Fortnum and Mason.
Well, they're going to be very happy to hear that. So, thank you so much.
Thank you.